what her album is about. It's about making love, finding yourself, being happy with yourself. 1995 proved to be a pivotal year for Mary. After Andre Harrell left Uptown to become CEO of Motown, Mary signed with Hank Shockley of MCA Records. She also parted ways with P. Diddy, became her own executive producer, and found new managers. And to top it all off, she broke off her volatile relationship with KC. It was time to clean house, and Mary's was brand new. 1996 proved that change could be a good thing. Mary was also nominated for a Grammy Award for Not Gon' Cry, the hit song from the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, and won a Grammy for Best Rap Performance by a Duo for You're All I Need to Get By with Method Man. Share My World, Mary's third album, debuted at #1 in early '97. It purged her emotionally crippled past with songs of hope, love, and freedom.
She grew up so much.
You definitely see the growth and the maturity in her music and record making.
She has the most inspiring voice for a young black artist.
Listeners got to know an unmasked Blige, a singer who showed her wide vocal range, not one molded in Diddy's one-dimensional image. Mary sings soul from the soul, and if a singer's vocals are as important as the words conveyed, then it's obvious that Blige did the right thing when she decided to crawl out of the 90s brand of R&B full of over-familiar samples and 2-for-1 beats. Instead, Mary crisscrossed the country, working with some of the best producers on the planet, like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Babyface, R. Kelly, Malik Pendleton, and Rodney Jerkins, which accounts for the album's rich diversity, Mary explains. She did what she wanted to do this time. And if you think about it, most people in the music industry don't work with the same people their whole lives. How are you going to grow if you stay with the same people? She needed to branch out and work with other producers so her visions could come to life. And she was right. Share My World was named Best R&B Album of the Year at the American Music Awards, was nominated for numerous Grammy and Soul Train Awards, and topped the Billboard 200 album charts for 4 weeks in a row. By the end of '97, it was certified double platinum, with several of its singles making the top 40 and top 10 lists. From the opening notes of the deliciously upbeat debut single, Love Is All We Need, performed with Nas and produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Mary raises her battle cry. It's the essence coming from herself, because we need self-love too. Ballads like the tender Everything or the slinky, jazzy Share My World shows off Mary's new level of expression. I Can Love You, featuring Lil' Kim, plays a common theme of Mary's, which is finding balance and love. 7 Days weaves a simple children's rhyme into a sophisticated tale of love and longing, while Missing You recounts a lonely lover's wish list for a perfect romance. One of the album's best songs, the hip-hop ballad Searching, is all about self-discovery, a journey Mary herself has undertaken in recent years. People get scared when they hear something they don't understand, Mary explains. She's learning how to handle things even if she has to scream and cry, even if it kills her. She just can't run anymore. That's the only way you're gonna be happy and deal with yourself. Working with so many producers might have proved daunting to some, but Mary had the time of her life. Mary goes on to say, it was a blessing to work with people like Babyface or Jimmy and Terry. Sometimes it's better for her to be in a new and uncomfortable situation because she'll work harder, she explains. As for her songwriting, Mary agrees that she has only gotten better. Writing is a healing process for her. She writes from the heart, and anything from the heart has got to be real.
In the record-making public, I think, and in our circle, I think we really do applaud people who are able to really put their feelings on the record and portray them to other people, because that's what makes it records.
Share My World was the beginning of a new and more focused Mary, a happier, more confident Mary, a woman at peace with her past and optimistic about the journey that lay ahead of her. She's a lady now, she told Ebony magazine. With growing up comes a lot of responsibilities. She knows there are a lot of things she has to do, and there are a lot of things she can't do anymore. At least try to make things on time. That's the mature Mary, realizing that if she stands somebody up for an interview, it's not for them, it's for her. They're gonna get paid. It's a more responsible Mary who wants the best for her. She wants to challenge herself more to see what comes out of it. Patience is a virtue for her now. With Mary playing up her new attitude toward the music business and her personal life in interviews, claiming to have found self-love. For that reason and others, Mary's career prospered. In January of '98, she crossed over into acting and had a guest spot on the Jamie Foxx show, playing a preacher's daughter who wants to sing R&B, and in July, she released a well-received live album called The Tour. It was recorded at Mary's performance at the Universal Amphitheater. She never headlined before, so she said, let's capture it. It was a real good year for her, so she wanted to show that. The result is a live recording of one of Blige's most electrifying shows. In addition to her own mega hits, she does live covers of Aretha Franklin's Daydreaming and soul and gospel singer Dorothy Moore's Misty Blue.
She's done a lot of cover songs. And if we go back through those cover songs, I bet you every one of them will reflect admiration for the artist or the person who did it.
Now, for those two songs alone, the album is definitely a collector's item. Blige goes on to say that those are both songs that her mother just loved. Mary explains she remembers hearing both songs a lot when she was a kid, and so both songs were influential to her as a singer.
I think it's real obvious in a lot of the song choices that Mary has chosen to record over the years. I think that's reflective of her paying homage to her idols.
Paul Campbell of Global Marketing at Seagram's America was quoted saying, Seagram's Gin was pleased to join Mary J. Blige in her first national tour. It was one of the most exciting of the season.
I had the great pleasure and great blessing of being employed and being able to work alongside Mary J. Blige during the Mary Tour as a programmer and drum technician. So I had the great honor of every night seeing a real professional. A lot of people maybe thought that Mary J. Blige was manufactured or a studio created image or a studio created artist. I'm a person standing right here who takes great pride and really is impressed by real entertainers and real musicians, and I saw a person go out every night, night after night. We did 52 cities and 65 nights, and every night Mary J. Blige hit the stage. She gave 110%. She, on tired nights, on days she wasn't having a great day, or days when the media and all the other things that we've talked about, which are our regular life situations, were taking place. And at the end of the day, when she came to work, the fans got 150% every night.
Mary's artistic talents are unparalleled, and when one looks at her career in retrospect, it is obvious that she has grown tremendously. Her music has evolved over the urban scene from the midst of the hip-hop explosion to the more mature R&B. In addition to Mary taking time to bolster the self-esteem of young fans, she has decided with this, her first solo national tour, to donate a portion of the ticket receipts to 100 Black Men, a nationwide organization with the mission of improving the quality of life for African Americans and other minorities. 100 Black Men turned out to be the perfect to marry a community need with Mary's talent for giving. In '98, Mary also decided to try her own hand at the music business and formed her own label, Mary Jane Entertainment. The label features artists from the worlds of R&B and rap on its roster, and was born out of Mary's frustration with her own inability to foster the careers of artists she discovers. She discovered, then bought, the locks to megastar rap producer P. Diddy after being unable to find an outlet for them on her own. She didn't have anywhere for them to go, Mary explains. She wished she could have brought them with her, but she's really happy for the success they found with Diddy. She is working with a variety of artists, getting them groomed and ready for the challenges that lay ahead of them. Challenges Mary can give first-hand advice on. As of yet, no artists have been released on Mary's label. By year's end, the tour was certified gold. Mary performed on another Terry McMillan's movie soundtracks, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, with the track Beautiful. She also spiced up DMX's hit album, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, singing on the track Coming From. All in all, 98 was a very good year for Mary and a sign of the mega success to come. At the 1999 Grammy Awards, Mary was nominated for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group for Lean On Me, a song she did with Kirk Franklin and the Family, R. Kelly, U2, and Crystal Lewis from Franklin's New Nation Project. And Mary got another chance to flex her acting muscles on the cable TV show Strong Medicine. In a flashback episode, Mary tackles the role of Bo Peeps, the lead singer of a hip-hop R&B band and romantic interest of one of the show's main characters, Peter Riggs. Riggs plays bass in the band. By May, Share My World was certified triple platinum, and in August, Mary was ready to drop her new LP entitled simply Mary. It featured tracks with Aretha Franklin, Lauryn Hill, Eric Clapton, Nas, ex-Bo KC and JoJo, and Elton John. Mary debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Pop charts and at number 1 on the R&B charts for 3 weeks.
I just feel honored, first of all, because I have people looking at me, wanting to be on the record. So I just feel like, oh my God, you know, is this what you've been telling me to wait for when so many doors have been closed in my face? He said, wait. He said, wait, I got something for you, and then this is it, you know.
First single was a top 40 hit, All That I Can Say, written and produced by Lauryn Hill.
All I can say is when I first heard this song, I felt like I was on a magic carpet. I was in Stevie Wonderland for I just was everywhere that I was when I was little. And I said, I don't know where Lauren's head is right now, but I love where her head is, because it takes us back to where we were when we were small. And I was so happy to be a part of her project.
Well, and I'm so happy to be a part of her project. My sister.
Another track, Time, addressed current issues in the inner city. Mary explains, in the ghettos, there's a lot of people dying every day. People getting shot for no apparent reason. People gambling in the hallways and getting killed. When she was living in Yonkers, someone got shot over a dime bag. Time is for the inner cities. There's not enough room in the hospital to take care of people, and nobody wants to fix up the buildings for the bums. She goes on to say, you should try to work toward doing the right thing because you could be gone tomorrow. Her newfound attitude is evident on her album, Mary. Blige said it was a start toward becoming a better person. She goes on to say she was looking to finally close the book on a lot of situations and open a new book and a new door to draw the right things and get rid of the wrong things. Part of the process involved inviting artists she respected to record with her. Blige says it shocked her that Aretha Franklin would want to work with her on her project because she's just a little girl compared to the time she's had in the music business. In addition to a late 70s, early 80s feeling that appealed to various audiences, Mary offered classic songs like Deep Inside featuring Elton John. It's the first time she's ever been able to say something good about her work. For some reason, she thinks this one was so original and had so much original work on it. It just impresses her that she could ever deliver an album like this. She's impressed herself. She's saying it because she's so thankful to God that He gave her the ability. The single Not Looking was originally meant to be sung with Blackstreet, but when the collaboration didn't pan out, there was nowhere else to look but to KC. He was by far the best choice. But it would be a test for Mary to be able to work with her ex-boyfriend. Fortunately, it turned out to be a success, and there was no drama to be reported. Blige also had the honor of performing at a benefit concert at the White House with a host of other musical celebs. Mary explains she's never been nervous in her life before. But she was kind of nervous about meeting the president, but Clinton is mad cool. He struck her as being a very regular person, not all stuffy. Mary explains she can't speak on his personal life, but just as a person, he's very nice. Even with her celebrity status, Mary remains single, and it wasn't out of choice. Exasperated, Mary explains men can't get in her space right now. She doesn't know what it is, but it just won't happen. And she's not pushing them away. She's there, trying to be there. Is it her? Who is she as a woman? She just doesn't know. Maybe it's all for the better. Maybe she needs to focus on Mary J. Blige right now, and not a man, but But that's not to say Mary hasn't got her romantic fantasies. But for now, she worked on improving Mary. All year, Mary was on a caveman diet, as she calls it. She works out, eats no carbohydrates, and drinks lots of water to flush her out. But a lot of it is mental too. Once you take a lot of stress off, you automatically lose some pounds. She gets her crunches in every night, and she really wants to be fine. Over the course of the year, she has shed about 30 pounds and has taken her physical fitness very seriously. Mary explains she feels like it's part of who she is to make her look nice, and she wants to look better, and it's in making her feel better too. For the first time in her career, Mary began looking at the big picture, the overall package. She went into this album with no fear, like there's nothing she can't conquer on here, and she thinks she broke down the walls. That's how her life is now. She's walking without fear. And if there are mistakes to be made, she'll make them, learn from them, and keep going. In keeping her newfound courage and confidence, Mary began studying for her GED, and without a doubt, she will conquer this too. In October, Mary made her film debut in Prison Song, a movie about fighting police brutality. Q-Tip co-wrote the script with the film's director, Darnell Martin. Blige plays a character whose husband was a victim of police brutality and who fights to save her son from the same injustice. Q-Tip also stars, and Robert De Niro produced. The film didn't do too well, but Mary's performance was well received. By year's end, Mary was certified platinum. Mary J was nominated for 2 MTV Europe Music Awards for Best Video and Best Song for As with George Michael. She also made the MTV 100 Greatest Videos Ever Made for You're All I Need to Get By with Method Man.
She's a multi-platinum selling artist. She's Grammy nominated, Grammy winner, Soul Train winner, any award that is possible. I'm sure she has had the opportunity to participate in it. So with that, that creates a lot of expectations for other people coming up behind them, trying to consider themselves a queen of soul, the queen of hip hop, the queen of anything, as a matter of fact, because she has done it again. Here we go, we're talking about 10, 12 years later, and she's still working and still making the impact, and that's rather impressive.
Mary ended the year by taking part in NetAid and was honored with the 1999 Heroes Award by the RIAA. With all the accolades, Mary is still grounded and in the community from when she came. Backstage at the Soul Train Music Awards, Mary spoke forcefully about her lifelong allegiance to hip-hop because she grew up on it. Just like the church, just like God, it's something that you might go astray, but you always remember where you came from. Mary came into the new millennium with a bang. She was nominated for a Brit Award, 3 Grammy Awards, and won a Soul Train Award for Best R&B Soul Album for Mary. And Give Me You hit the top 40. But Mary wasn't content to just reap awards. She wanted to give back as well. She teamed with Lil' Kim to serve as a spokesperson for MAC Cosmetics' Viva Glam 3 lipstick campaign. The company donates all proceeds from the sales of the lipstick to the MAC AIDS Fund, which has raised $14 million since 1994 for medical care and support for people with AIDS and HIV. Mary also made a television and radio spot for the Partnership for a Drug-Free America, in which she talked about her past substance abuse to discourage the youth from using drugs. Blige also lent her support to Baby Buggy, a nonprofit organization founded by Jessica Seinfeld, wife of famed Jerry Seinfeld, designed to assist women that are not so fortunate with their babies' needs, and Women in Need, another nonprofit organization which serves more than 4,000 homeless and disadvantaged women and children each year. She invited these women to her concert at the Apollo Theater in Harlem. And before the show, she personally met, swapped emotional embraces, cried with, and helped inspire the women to stay on course. It was a night of entertainment and inspiration these women will never forget, and neither will Mary. And in recognition of her charitable works, Mary received a Brick Award, which is given annually to community leaders under the age of 30. In August, Mary unveiled her own fashion line at the Magic International Fashion Show in Las Vegas. The line features sportswear for women and men, including baby tees, t-shirts, dresses, and tank tops. That summer, she also teamed up with the comic book creator Stan Lee on a cartoon for not only her tour opening sequence, but also as an internet-based series. Blige will lend her voice and contribute story ideas to webisodes, which will depict the award-winning singer as a fantasy superhero. The end of 2000 had Mary's Your Child off the now double platinum Mary album, #1 on the Billboard Dance Chart, and 911, her duet with Wyclef Jean, climbing the top 40. Awards, awards, and more awards. 2001 was no exception. Mary received the Rock the Vote Patrick Lippert Award for her work with charity organizations, was nominated for a Grammy for 911, a Soul Train Award for Your Child, and won a BET Award for Best Female R&B Artist. Mary's next album, No More Drama, was released in August and topped the Billboard Hot R&B chart for 2 weeks. By October, it was certified platinum, and the single, Family Affair, hit the top 10 for 4 weeks. No More Drama celebrates life. When songwriters and producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis played No More Drama for Mary, she knew the song was written specifically for her. She could relate to the song's lyrics. No more drama, no more game, no more tears, no more fears. As the Young and the Restless soap opera music plays in the background, the song seemed to chronicle her life, surviving on the celebrity diet of alcohol, drugs, late night parties, and men. Mary still looked and sounded great, but she was being eaten up inside, and no one seemed to notice. It took meeting her boyfriend, Kendu Isaacs, for Mary to realize she had a problem. Without putting her down, he started putting the questions to her. He asked her if having a good time and getting high was all that mattered to her. It made her think. Mary explains, it made her feel like shit. Like, damn, is this all I do? And no matter how much she fought it, she realized how ignorant and prideful she had been. He didn't put her down, not once. She realized she was putting herself down every time she picked up liquor, every time she picked up cocaine. Kendu helped Mary restructure her priorities and realize her relationship with God is what's most important in life, especially in light of the September 11th terrorist attacks. As Mary fights to resist the temptations of her past, she spends more time focusing on more uplifting things, like her visit to Southern California high schools to talk to students and learning to play the piano and guitar. Mary explains she already got her first No More Drama and the Young and the Restless keys down. She's learning some of Al Green on the guitar, but she's just setting herself up for the tour. If she learns, that's cool. If she don't, that's cool too. She looks at it like second nature and not as learning something. In January of 2002, No More Drama hit the top 40, and Mary was nominated for an American Music Award and 2 Grammy Awards. She released a repackaged version of No More Drama with bonus tracks and kicked off a U.S. tour in February. Mary also teamed back up with P. Diddy for the remixes on No More Drama. Diddy and Mary parted ways shortly after the release of My Life. The separation, Mary now admits, was fueled by her need to be the only female singer that Diddy was working with. P. Diddy had been fired from his post at Uptown Records and was totally engulfed in getting his new Bad Boy Entertainment label off the ground. One of the first acts he signed was singer-songwriter Faith Evans. Now that they have buried the hatchet, Mary is glad to have her old friend back in the studio with her. No More Drama was topping all the charts in 2002.
Mary's been around for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Album after album after album, and she continues to grow, and she continues to be that artist that we expect something hot and new from, and every time she comes through.
Mary is just a living testament that you can achieve your dreams. no matter what background you come from, no matter what you've been through.
As the younger people to come up, I think they're using Mary J. Blige as a guideline, using Mary J. Blige as a measuring stick, and using her experiences for betterment in their careers and whatnot. So I think that's the thing that sets her apart, is her longevity, her consistency over the years, and not a lot of people, male, female, black or white, have that right now.
She's gone through so much, and she's learned, and I'm taking all that in, taking all of that, and I'm using it for myself.
And Mary's personal life soared as well. Mary, now 31, never married and with no children, admitted that on Christmas Eve, she became engaged to Kendu Isaac. Mary explains that it was very old-fashioned. On one knee, it was real. He asked her to marry her, and she said yes. He's a blessing in her life, she goes on to explain, just constantly on her like a mother or something. But it's good stuff, not negative, and it's not bad. It's aggravating, but so is your mother. But your mother loves you. Mary collaborated with Ja Rule on the hot single Rainy Days.
Yeah, I've heard.
And hit the top 40 with it. She also re-signed with Mac AIDS Fund, this time alongside Elton John and Shirley Mason. Mary performed on VH1 Divas 2002, Divas in Las Vegas, and was chosen one of VH1's sexiest artists. And to finish out the year right, she performed on the Brown Sugar soundtrack and the Deliverers from Eva soundtrack. Another very good year for Mary. Testimony that living right certainly has its payoffs. Mary opened 2003 with the win, an American Music Award for Favorite Hip Hop R&B Female Artist. Then in February, she won a Grammy Award for Best Female R&B Performance for He Think I Don't Know. She also had her first lawsuit, a $10 million lawsuit filed by Kayama Griffin and Floyd Howard, who claims they were never paid royalties for 5 songs they produced and wrote for Mary. The trial date has not yet been set, and Mary has made no comment. The summer belonged to Mary once again. In July, Mary could be heard singing Didn't Mean on the Bad Boys 2 soundtrack, and in August, Mary's latest LP, Love and Life, was released, and by September, it topped the Billboard 200 albums chart. It sold over 286,000 copies in its first week. Mary reunited with Diddy as her executive producer, igniting a fire we haven't seen since my life. Diddy has not changed at all. He's still the same P. Diddy, and he's grown up, and I've grown up a lot, she explains. They didn't miss a beat in the studio. It's like separately, we have actually gotten better over the years. Love and Life has gotten some additional help from Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Jay-Z, and Method Man. By October, it was certified platinum. Mary also performed on her idol Aretha Franklin's album, So Damn Happy, and appeared on Sting's album, Sacred Love, on the track, Whenever I Say Your Name. Mary even ended 2003 with a win, secretly marrying Kendu Isaac in a hush-hush ceremony on December 7th. Just 50 guests attended, none of them A-listers, at Blige's Bergen County, New Jersey home. We already know Mary J. is nominated for 3 Grammys in 2004, and there'll surely be lots more where that came from. Now, Mary J. Blige has come a long way and learned a lot along the way. She's a role model for all of us, and a blessing to behold on stage and off. Mary J. Blige holds the reigning title of Queen of Hip Hop Soul. Yo, Mary J., do your thing, mama, and make sure you stay bringing that fire. Keep it coming, Mary.